This is a WKP live stream. Hello and welcome to WKP. Today we're going to be tracking Tropical Storm Grace, which is now showing signs of going into the Gulf. And we could be seeing some Gulf states could see a landfall from Grace. And we could also be seeing a hurricane out of Grace based on the latest model. So let's get right into this forecast. This is definitely a big change from what we were previously seeing. So let's first go over what the National Hurricane Center is predicting. So tropical storm conditions are expected in portions of the Leeward Islands tonight and early Sunday, and the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico on Sunday. Tropical storm conditions are possible over eastern parts of the Dominican Republic by early Monday. Heavy rainfall could lead to flash and urban flooding over the Leeward and Virgin Islands across Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. Heavy rainfall may lead to flash, urban, and small stream flooding, along with potential for mudslides. There is a risk of wind and rainfall impacts across the rest of the Dominican Republic, Haiti, the Turks and Caicos Islands, the Bahamas, and Florida next week. Interest in those areas should monitor the progress of Grace and updates to the forecast. So yes, if you do live in those areas, keep an eye on this storm. So I want to go first to the wind speed probabilities. As you can see, for Puerto Rico and those islands, we are looking at a quite high wind speed probability, around 50 to 60, maybe even up to 60 to 70% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds. So it is likely we could be seeing some tropical storm force winds with Grace as she moves through those islands. Now, the arrival time of wind is also important. So on Sunday 8 a.m., we're going to start seeing wind arrive in Puerto Rico. So if you live in these islands right here, which I believe are the Lesser Antilles, I may be wrong, I'm sorry about that, you're likely going to already be experiencing Grace right about now. And now the Dominican Republic will see its first wind around Sunday 8 p.m. through Monday 8 a.m. and Cuba will receive their first bit of wind around Monday 8 p.m. and Florida will see wind there around Tuesday 8 p.m. and that's the same time we'll see wind arriving in the Bahamas. So we need to keep an eye on this since it looks like it's getting a good chance of becoming a larger storm. Let's go to the GFS model. Now, the GFS model has been changing quite a bit recently, and especially on this last run, it has changed a lot. So as you can see, in the next 54 hours, there's Fred making landfall. Not very much of a threat, as you can see. Oh boy, there's my pen being silly again. Fred doesn't look like it's going to be much of an issue on landfall, which is good. I would expect Fred to have wind of around 45 miles per hour, if that, on landfall, since it's kind of died out as of now. Now, Grace, on the other hand, as you can see, the GFS is showing that one strengthening. So watch this. The GFS slides past Florida around a strong tropical storm strength, then moves into the Gulf. And then what we start seeing is this rapid strengthening in the Gulf, especially right around here. The water temperature in this area is really, really high. I'd say around 89 Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. So we are seeing some very, very high water temperature in this area. Now, Grace moves through right before landfall on Texas, gets to around to 949 millibars, 951. If you know what that means, that is a very, very strong hurricane right there. And then makes landfall, moves on into Mexico, and we don't see much else tropical activity through the rest of the GFS forecast. So that's something we need to keep an eye on. Now that most of the models are showing a Gulf state landfall, and we need to keep an eye on the strength also. So this is how Grace is looking on satellite imagery right now. Not too much convection in it, but you can see the temperatures dropping in some areas, so it's likely we may see a little bit of strengthening before Grace goes over the islands, which will definitely determine how strong Grace will get in the future. Here's the official NHC track. As you can see, we're going to be seeing Grace stay a tropical storm all the way until hitting Florida, and then whatever happens after this area is a question mark, but we will see how that pans out in the next coming days. As you can see, we will likely be seeing a landfall on the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, and Florida, and the other islands, which I believe are the Antilles. I'm sorry if I'm messing this up. Anyway, let's get to the model tracks. As you can see, we have a wide mess of tracks here, but as you can see, the main consensus is bringing it into the Gulf, which would lead to some rapid strengthening because of the high water temperatures in the Gulf. So this is something we'll need to keep an eye out. It's still very early in the track for the storm, but it's something that could pan out. Let's take a look at the intensity guidance. Most of the models have this staying a tropical storm. As you can see, quite a few of them have it making Category 1 strength, then weakening, and then going up into Category 2, Category 3, even Category 4 strength with 115 knot wind. So we could be seeing some very, very strong storm out of this. If it does turn into the Gulf, I would definitely expect a hurricane. Even if it doesn't get to major hurricane strength, I would definitely expect a strong Category 1 hurricane out of this. But if it doesn't go into the Gulf, then I would expect maybe a strong tropical storm, if not barely a Category 1, if it gets the chance to do that. So that's basically what we're seeing with Grace. Do not get too scared yet. Please check the gospel message in the description, but don't get too scared yet, because what we're seeing right now is still going to happen quite far out in the future in hurricane terms, but we need to keep an eye on this since we are seeing the possibility of some strengthening. Thank you for watching. This has been WKP.